How is everybody doing? Day 13 of our husband's boot camp. I hope everybody's in. I hope everybody's still energized, and I hope it is making a difference. Today is Rabbi Miller's 8th commandment of marriage, which is show regard for your spouse. Now, of course, we spoke about giving respect. This is not what Rabbi Miller means, giving respect. We spoke about giving respect is you act in a respectful way. You know, like you stand up for your father when he walks in a room. This is so much more than that, and let me explain. So much of what we are is made up of confidence and of emotions. A confident person can take on anything. He could accomplish anything. A non-confident person who feels he can't is defeated before he even starts. You know, the famous line, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Psychologists say that each person has an emotional tank. This is a true thing. I don't have to quote psychologists. Each person has an emotional tank that they have. It says, which is filled up with the words of encouragement and the words of motivation and inspiration and compliments from other people. When other people tell me that I can, I feel great. That tank is filled and I can accomplish anything. And I'm a better person. When people tell me I can't, or they give me like a little weird remark, or they roll their eyes, that tank becomes empty, and then I can't, and I'm defeated before I start. Which means, in a very straight sense, that a person's success is directly a result of the encouragement he got from other people. That's a crazy thing. That means I'm responsible for the people around me's success. If I compliment them, if I tell them how great they are, if I encourage them, if I motivate them, they will be better people. And if I don't, if I knock them, if I hurt them, if I say negative things to them, if I give negative feelings or negative vibes towards them, I am making them worse people. People that can't accomplish much. That's a very powerful statement that I just said. Now let's understand what happens when a person is a confident, encouraged, motivated, inspired person. They have a flow in their lives. Everything is working. When you have days that you feel great about yourself, little stresses don't bother you. It seems to go by like water off a duck's back. Things are smooth. You're less angry. You're happier. You're better with your children. You're better with your wife. And that passes on. And that has ripple effects. Likewise, the opposite. When you don't feel good about yourself, when you don't feel great, and you don't feel you can accomplish anything, every little thing is daunting and bothers you. Every little stretch is a huge mountain to overcome. Now this becomes a serious crisis, becomes worthy of anger. When I feel great about myself and somebody throws me a line, I'll let it pass. What does he know? I'm confident in myself. I know I'm great. I don't need his approval. But when I don't feel great about myself and somebody throws me a negative word, it makes me defensive. It makes me angry. It makes me lash out more. It makes me tend to become a very revengeful person. Therefore, I am responsible almost in a crazy way for the people around me's anger, the people around me's anxieties, because if I encourage them, if I motivate them, if I inspire them, if I give them confidence, the people around me become less angry, less stressed, less anxious people, happier people, not only better people, but emotionally better people. That means in a wild way, our wives are going to be a direct result of what we fill into their tank emotionally, with encouragement, with confidence, with inspiration, with motivation, with things like that. They are directly, and by the way, this is stronger with a spouse. Because if the entire world loves me and I come home and I get berated, who the hell cares what the world thinks? She may know better than everybody else. It hurts me more. She's the one person I'm looking for validation rather than the rest of the world. And with a wife, it's tenfold. The world could tell a girl how great she is. But if her husband doesn't give her that, she feels like 2 cents. She can't accomplish much. She can't do much. She's not inspired. She's not motivated. She's more anxious and she's more angry. Little things become big things, and that passes over onto your children. Therefore, inspire your wife, motivate her, and encourage her. This is such an important thing. You can't say it enough. Here's a girl who, for the last few weeks, has been suffering. She doesn't have cleaning help. Her husband's in China for 2.5 weeks. Her kids are sick, and she just feels terrible. Nothing's going right. Everything is wrong. She hasn't seen the light of day in 2.5, 3 weeks. And now her husband comes home. And finally, after a few weeks on the road, her husband comes home and he sees a broken down, beat down wife. So he says one thing to her, the littlest thing. He says, "Hi, what's doing? My trip in was a little bit hard. Can I have 45 minutes to relax, or do you have dinner ready? How dare you ask me if I have dinner ready? You ask me if I have dinner ready? You know what I went through for the last month?" And then boom, the floodgates of 4 weeks of frustration open up. Where does that come from? That comes from a husband who, for the time he was away, was never giving his wife filling up that tank. Had that whole time, he'd been texting his wife saying, "I don't know how you're doing it. You're amazing. How you stand in the face with the kids sick and you take care of everybody with no cleaning up, with me being away. This is the most amazing thing. How you rise to the occasion all the time." When he comes home and he tells his wife, "Is dinner ready?" That little comment, "Is dinner ready?" won't be translated as, "You're an inept homemaker." It will be translated as what it really is. Is dinner ready? But because he never filled her tank those 4 weeks, she feels terrible about herself, and every little thing is blown up and magnified. The Gemara tells us about Honi HaMa'agel. There's a tremendous idea. Honi HaMa'agel was I know this voice note may be longer than others, but I think it's important. Such an important thing. Because this goes under the heading of a good offense is a good defense. Like I said before, is the best defense, You be proactive with this, you circumvent so much. If you have a wife who's angry, just know that she's angry because you never filled her tank. It's kind of your fault. If you have a wife who's not really happy, blah, just know that that's a result of you never encouraging her, never inspiring her, never motivating her. If her tank was full, she feels like she could take on Rome. So the Gemara by Honi HaMa'agel says that Honi HaMa'agel was the person, he slept for 70 years. He was a miracle worker, a tremendous person. He slept for 70 years. Why? How? Who? What? Where? Miraculously. He slept for 7 years. He wakes up. He goes to his home. Is Honi HaMa'agel's son home? That's how he died. Is his grandson home? Yeah, his grandson's home. But he wasn't home that minute. So he says, "I'm Honi HaMa'agel." They didn't believe him. So he went to the Beit Midrash, his home away from home. And there he was answering everybody's questions. And they said, "Wow, we haven't had clarity like this since the days of Honi HaMa'agel." He says, "Anahu, I'm Honi HaMa'agel." But nobody believed him. Then the Gemara says that he prayed for his own death and his own demise. Because he said the words, "O chabruta, o mituta," or a friend or a death. I can't be in a world where people don't recognize me. Rashi says amazingly, Rashi says there was nobody there to give him honor. Now my Rabbi Maselton, may he rest in peace, used to say, "I don't understand. Nobody gave him honor. The rabbi needed honor? What does that mean, the rabbi needed honor?" He said, and not only that, but it says that he was answering all their questions. And they said, "We haven't had clarity like this since the years of Honi HaMa'agel." So they were telling him how great he was. However, the rabbi said, unbelievably, so strong, so powerful. He said, yeah, Honi HaMa'agel was getting respect, but it wasn't the respect that he needed. Because each person not only needs encouragement, inspiration, motivation, but they need it on what they think they're great at. You got to encourage the person on what they think is their thing. Here, Honi HaMa'agel, God, wow, his clarity, he's answering all our questions, but he said, wait a minute, I'm Honi HaMa'agel, I'm a miracle worker. You guys don't know who I am. Yeah, sorry, you can't sketch. You're great at answering questions. No, but I'm a miracle worker, you don't know. A person can't live, even a great person like Honi HaMa'agel, can't live in a world where people don't recognize who he is and what his greatness is, what his core character is. This is what every person's really looking for in life. It's something called hakara, noticing, noticing, to be noticed on what their core character is. If you hit that target with your wife, you recognize, you think, what is my wife really good at? And not only what she's really good at, what does she think she's really good at? I'm going to encourage her on that. So many times when I get involved in a couple, I always tell the husband, what does your wife do on her spare time? What does she do? Well, no. Find her something that she's good at to work on. She has to feel good about herself. And it's your job to encourage her and to inspire her and to motivate her. Positive words. Fill up that tank constantly with positive words. Make your wife less angry. Make your wife less anxious, less stressful, more happy, and a better person. Good luck. Task number 13. Hope everybody is doing this. It's got to be making a difference. Please give me feedback. I think the last one that we just had, show regard for your mate, is extremely powerful and important. Not only for your wife, but for all people. And here we go. Here is our task number 13. I was going to say 14, but number 13. Since the idea of 13 was show regard for your spouse, the task is going to be to encourage your wife on one thing you think she's really good at. Encourage her to take it up. If you think she's great at art, encourage her at that. If you think she's really good at taking care of kids, encourage her to get involved with maybe teaching children. If you think she's really good at cooking, encourage her to open up her own little mazza business. Whatever it is, you could think of it. You're smart enough to think of it. But encourage your wife to do something that you know she's really good at, that she's been itching. Motivate her, inspire her, and encourage her to get it done.